Steve Hitner's divorce illustrates many of the problems with permanent alimony. Hitner, who was the primary force behind reforming the alimony laws in Massachusetts, was in court for more than 14 years and ended up paying $250,000 in legal fees during his divorce. Despite being unable to afford it, he was ordered to pay $45,000 per year in alimony for the rest of his life. However, rather than accepting the status quo, Hitner set out to change the law by forming a grassroots organization called Massachusetts Alimony Reform.
I realized that it wasn't the judge or it wasn't the lawyers, it was the law. And I couldn't win with the current law. I couldn't get any kind of relief with the current law. So I decided I needed to change the law. Everybody told me I was crazy to try that, going up against the Massachusetts legislature. But I was able to do that. It took me 8 years to do it, but I was able to change the law.
In 2012, the Massachusetts Alimony Reform Act went into effect. The new law added time limits for when alimony could be paid, added cohabitation language, and added end dates for alimony, such as after retirement. However, recent challenges to that bill have claimed that the law should only apply for those who divorced after March 1st, 2012. That's something that Hitner says goes clearly against the law's original intent. In response to those challenges, Hitner has helped author a new bill that adds clarity to the law. Hitner added that all of his work on reforming alimony law in Massachusetts has shown him that a clear majority of people are in favor of doing away with permanent alimony.
We all got together and realized that we had the same interests, but we're against reform for different reasons. Like the attorneys were against the reform because they were afraid of alienating judges. The other attorneys were against the reform. The bars were against the reform because they thought that we couldn't get anything done. They were trying to get a law passed that would allow a judgment duration. But my thoughts to it were, listen, if you got divorced in one county as opposed to another, as a matter of fact, if you got divorced in the same county, the same courthouse, the decisions would be different for a judge. So I felt that there should be consistency and predictability in the law. And the only way you can get consistency and predictability would be with guidelines and structure.
To read more about alimony reform in Massachusetts, visit massalimonyreform.org. You can also find many other articles about alimony on DadsDivorce.com. That'll do it for another episode of Dad's Divorce Live. I'm Sean Garrison, editor of DadsDivorce.com, and we'll see you next time.